Welcome. There is a proposal to build a megachurch on some quiet country lanes in suburban Maryland. I believe it is the wrong development, at the wrong place, and at the wrong time. And this video explains my reasons for believing that. Well, first let's take a look at the proposal itself. The idea is to build a megachurch at the intersection of Church, Mount Oak, and Woodmore Roads in Prince George's County. These are three narrow, winding country lanes. This is the area that's going to be developed. It's on currently a cornfield. The building proposed is about 60,000 square feet for capacity for up to 2,000 people and with a parking lot that can accommodate 750 cars. So what is the vision of this church? From its own website, I took the following words. We will plant churches within 5 minutes walking distance in every city and town of the developing countries, and within 5 minutes driving distance in every city and town of the developed countries. That seems like an overly ambitious goal to me. But what would that look like for Prince George's County? The proposed site here is marked with a red star and surrounded by 3 black concentric circles. The red circles indicate 5 minutes driving distance from each of these sites. But to cover just this small area of Prince George's County with that sort of philosophy would require 13 such churches as this. The only way to maintain that sort of a membership and those sorts of churches is to take the membership away from other churches in the area and other faiths in the area. Is that the sort of thing we want in Prince George's County? I think not. This seems more like a Starbucks business plan than the church wanting to become part of the Christian community. We're not against a church per se. The residents of this area would oppose any large development like this on Church Road, whether it be commercial, office buildings, or a religious building of any faith of this sort of size. Many of us moved to this area because of its rural environment, and this sort of large development will ruin that environment once and for all. Basically, this development does not fit into our neighbourhood. We all recognise that this church carries out many laudable services for the community. It helps the less fortunate people from DC. It feeds the homeless. It cares for the sick. It helps drug addicts. It helps ex-cons. But how is that different from any other church in the area? And the question that I keep coming back to is, why does all that have to be done on Church Road? There are many better and more suitable sites for a facility like this. Some people are getting tied up in the semantics of whether this is a mega church or not. Well, let's test that theory. There are 4 mega churches in the area: First Baptist Church of Glenarden, Reed Temple, Ebenezer A&E Church, and the Evangel Cathedral. To estimate whether these church is equivalent to those, I counted the number of parking spaces in each one of these mega churches. They all have parking lots between 800 and 1100 cars. The proposed church is 750, so yes, it's right on the border of being a mega church. The point is that we have lots of local churches in the area, and the largest of those has a parking lot of about 150. So this church is 5 times larger than the largest church already in our area. So I think that it's going to have a major impact on the traffic and on the roads in that area. So yes, it is a megachurch. Is this development right-sized? According to architectural guidelines for churches, 2,000 people need between 12,000 and 16,000 square feet of space, not 60,000 square feet of space. 60,000 square feet would accommodate between 8,000 and 10,000 people. The rule of thumb for churches is 1 parking space for 5 seats, which means they would only need 400 parking spaces at most, or they plan to accommodate 4,000 or more people with the 750 car parking spaces that they've baselined. So in other words, their numbers just don't add up. And that makes me suspicious that what we're being told is not really the final plan. Will the church be expanded in the future, either in the planning stage or after the first stage is built? The footprint shown on this map in red here is much larger than 60,000 square feet. Now there's lots of room available to expand the church, plus there's also a lot of room there to put in more parking spaces. we have no guarantee that what we are being shown now is what we will get in the future. How easy will it be to get to the site, both during the development stage and also once the building's built? The conclusion is it's going to be very difficult. The reason for that is the 4 access roads are all single lane roads in each direction. There's Church Road North, Church Road South, Mount Oak Road, which goes to the east, and Woodmore Road that goes to the west, and it's likely that Woodmore Road will be the preferred route to getting to this church, because it is closest to the Beltway and 193, and those coming along 214 to the south will not want to come up Church Road South. They will want to come up 193 and turn right onto Woodmore Road to get to the church. So access to this site will be difficult unless the roads are widened, and I believe they should be widened before a single stone of this church is put in place. We were told by the church that all the additional cars will have little or no effect on the local traffic. But we already know that there's problems on Mount Oak Road. There have been several accidents there, including cars crashing into some of the residents' gardens. There have been similar problems on Church Road. So what will adding 750 cars really mean to our roads around here? That will depend on how often and when they are holding their services. They claimed to only meet twice a week on Sundays and Tuesdays. So this very expensive, huge facility will be in use less than 5% of the time, according to the church. I find that very difficult to believe. So will there be an environmental impact from this development? We heard from local engineering experts that construction will require extensive road closures, excavation to add this facility to the water and sewer lines. Runoff will require upgrading of the storm drains, and there'll be lots of noise and light pollution. So yes, there will be a major impact to the local residents, which is why most of them are against it. Is there adequate infrastructure to support this development? Bowie City Council experts pointed out that the roads are inadequate and cannot be upgraded for at least 6 years. The storm drains are inadequate, the sewer and water supply is inadequate, and no environmental impact or traffic studies have been done, which need to be completed before this project is approved. And also the Bowie City Council has voted against this project. So the conclusion there can only be that the infrastructure is not adequate to support this particular development and needs to be upgraded before this development proceeds. Do we need another huge church in Prince George's County? The church attendance in the United States is falling. That means there's lots of empty churches available in our area. The last time I checked on the real estate guide, there were 36 churches available for sale, ranging from a few thousand square feet to 56,000 square feet. Some of them were on huge lots that could be developed in the same manner that they're talking about here. There are better sites available with better road access than this particular site. So Church Road is not the right place for this. There are plenty of other places to go. Some of them are already existing. So what should we do? I think you need to take the time to understand the problem. I've got some information in the description box below here that will help you do that. Talk to our politicians, tell them that you oppose this project and get them to try to respond to the will of the people. Organise the opposition to this project in your local groups. We may have to take legal action to stop this development. I hope that's a last resort, but it's always a possibility. Perhaps we should put a ballot initiative together to ban the development of megachurches in Prince George's County. That would solve the problem once and for all. In other words, take action. In the description box below, I have the contact information for our local Prince George's County politicians. Please write to them, tell them that you oppose this particular development and ask them to do the right thing. Until next time, goodbye.